Chicago, like most big cities, has its fair share of unsolved crime. And in most of these cases, somebody saw or heard something. Somebody may have seen a suspicious person, a car driving away from the scene, or simply overheard somebody talking about the case. With your help, we can put these criminals behind bars where they belong. Here in Chicago, we have too many unsolved murders. We need your help. In these cases, the police department is only as strong as the citizens that get involved. Oftentimes, all the detectives need is a tip, a start. Somebody to call in and say, I saw something. Any little information that you know can be the impetus to solve the entire case. On tonight's episode, we'll be featuring the case of 10-year-old Tianda Bradley and her 3-year-old sister, Diamond Bradley, two sweet, fun-loving sisters. Were last seen by their mother when she left for work at 6 o'clock in the morning. When their mom returned at 11 o'clock that morning after working her shift, the girls were gone, had disappeared, never to be seen again.
The last time I saw Tianda, she was 2 or 3 years old. They're such good girls. They like to dance, they like to play together, you know, they're well-mannered.
But Tianda, I remember the happiness I felt when her mother said that she was pregnant. Tianda was about, I think, 4 or 5 months old, 6 months maybe, and I saw her for the first time, and it just, I guess I must have been glowing because I was so happy.
Diamond was a pretty shy kid around strangers, but around family, she was like the little Tasmanian devil running around.
I know Tianda loves dancing, and she's just they're happy kids.
And she was so pretty. And she showed us how her mother taught her how to dance, and she had us laughing. And she's amazing. She was so funny and so sweet and soft voiced. And
Tianda was more so sassy, really talented, run track, dance. No matter if you're standing downtown and you say dance Tianda, she would dance.
My granddaughter means more to me than anything in the world.
Tianda was the older sister, she was 10. Diamond was 3. Diamond looked up to her older sister, 7 years younger. Anywhere Tianda went, Diamond went. I mean, Diamond just loved her older sister, as you can imagine, and Tianda loved her little sister. And even though they were 7 years apart, they were basically inseparable. Would go everywhere together, would play together, would spend time together, and had a great relationship, two sisters who were 2 peas in a pod.
Tianda, she would always have Diamond on her hip like a little grown woman, walking through the house with her.
She's very sensitive, very loving. She's the most amazing girl you ever meet.
My heart breaks for her that they're missing still, as little as they are.
She's so precious, and I haven't even got a chance to tell her how much I love her.
On July 6, 2001, 10-year-old Tianda Bradley and her 3-year-old sister, Diamond Bradley, disappeared.
The day before, their other 2 siblings went over to their grandmother's house for the night. The mother, which is Tracy Bradley, actually stayed home that day to watch over the other kids. It's our understanding there was a picnic planned, actually a camping trip planned, and unfortunately that camping trip never took place due to the fact that the kids became missing.
Left about 6 o'clock, gave both the girls a kiss goodbye, said she'd be home around 11 when her shift ended, and left the girls, in the apartment secured and locked.
Tracy said she left the apartment about 6 a.m., going to work, and left Tianda and Diamond there home alone.
She did have a companion who came over to actually spend the night, and that was the actual father of Diamond. He then took her to work. They left. They advised Tianda, which is the older of the siblings, not to open the door for anyone. And she locked the door, and her companion by the name of George actually left the residence, and he actually dropped Tracy off from work. Tracy did make another call to the residence approximately around between 7 and 8, but unfortunately the call became unanswered. After not getting an answer call, she became concerned. She went on about her daily routine because she unfortunately thought that children were at home asleep.
There was some evidence that there was a phone call made that morning from one of the girls to her mother saying there was someone at the door. The police suspect that perhaps the girls opened the door, that person, came inside. They don't know for sure.
Once she arrived back home around 11 a.m., along with her companion picking her up by the name of George, they entered the apartment, and she called out for her children and got no response. And to this day, it's still the #1 high volume search of any missing individual. And to this day, the children are still missing.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case. On July 6, 2001, 10-year-old Tianda Bradley and 3-year-old Diamond Bradley, two sweet, fun-loving sisters, were last seen by their mother when she left for work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Once she arrived back home around 11 a.m., along with her companion picking her up by the name of George, they entered the apartment, and she called out for her children and got no response. Once she entered the apartment a little bit more, she looked on the couch and found a bundle of clothes on the couch as well as a handwritten note.
There was a note that had been written that said, "Oh, we're going down to the corner store." But the girls never came back.
Tracy became alarmed because this is something her children don't normally do.
Tracy says that when she got home, there was a note on the back of the couch saying that they had went to the park and went to the store, but Tianda didn't write that note.
The kids don't leave unless mom or another adult is at the residence. And this struck her, and she was alarmed that this has actually happened. And it's not normally for her to even leave a note. She knows that she doesn't go out the house none whatsoever under any circumstances. And this struck the parent quite hard and concerned about why is she leaving a note.
Her grammatical structure, the sentence structure, and that wasn't the way Tianda spoke. And I was surprised to hear about a note because as she would call her mother's cell phone. And she did call her mother's cell phone saying that George was at the door.
She asked her companion at that time, which is George Washington, to help her find her children.
Family members were running around different neighborhoods looking, different areas, but that time was critical. Actually, the police wasn't called until about 6 hours later.
Chicago Police Department came out and did a missing police report, did a canvass of the area to determine the fact, and interviewing people to determine the fact that they'd seen the children. That canvass went on all the way up until about approximately late in the day.
The police, followed up on that and devoted an enormous amount of resources to this case. It's one of the biggest searches that Chicago police have ever probably conducted looking for missing persons, and devoted hundreds of officers to this case. The FBI got involved, K-9 units got involved, helicopter units got involved, police boats got involved.
Me and my daughter walked in. I turned on the TV because I always watch the news. First thing I saw was Tianda's face. And then they said that her and her sister Diamond were missing, and I just broke into tears. My brother called me right away and he told me, "Did you see Tianda on the news? She's missing," and he started crying.
Well, I had just arrived at my daughter Elena's house, and she was sitting on the porch and they had the TV there. Just as I was getting to her house, she was coming on the TV. And when I recognized her, and I said, that is Tianda. But I was in shock because I couldn't believe what they were saying. My grandbaby was gone, missing. But at that moment, I thought that she'll show up. She's gonna come back, they'll find her.
And I immediately jumped in the van and drove down. When I got to Tracy's residence, Tracy was being questioned by the police. She had been held at the police department.
My daughter said, "Mommy, what's wrong with her? Why is she missing? Who took her?" And I told her, "Baby, I don't know." And now they're missing with no answers, no leads, nothing. I mean, it's just like literally a cold case.
The thought of something happening to her was more than like a bear. We never could find her. Tracy moved away that day. She brought her over for the last time, and we haven't been able to find them.
The FBI got involved, canine units got involved, helicopter units got involved, police boats got involved, searched everywhere high and wide, followed up every lead, and worked on this case, for months and months and years, and still no trace of Tianda or Diamond Bradley.
Searches that led almost to close to 20 to 30 miles within the surrounding area, north, east, and south of Chicago. And to this day, it's still the #1 high volume search of any missing individual. And to this day, the children are still missing. On July 5th, 2001, Diamond and Tianda Bradley became missing at the 3500 block of South Cottage Grove in Chicago, Illinois. I was brought into the case approximately 3 to 4 months after to take a look into the case. At that time, Diamond was 3 years old, Tianda was 10. Tianda was the actual keeper of Diamond. She kept her little sister along with some other siblings that was at the home.
You had two sisters that loved each other, a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old. I mean, they were just getting started with their lives. I mean, and not to be seen again. And to be missing for all these years, for 15 years, and nobody's seen them, and nobody knows where they're at. We need to find these girls, and we need to bring them home safely.
We were brought in from an independent standpoint to take a look at the case, to actually put another set of eyes on the case, to actually see if we can either penetrate information within the family or within the public to help tender over information, because sometimes people are not comfortable tending over information to local law enforcement. So we were brought in to be a next set of eyes and ears to determine the fact of the case and see if we can be able to pull something out, actually what happened to the kids on that particular day in question.
Me, myself, I just become more overprotective since I found out that Tianda and Diamond were missing. And I mean, it breaks my heart. Every time I see them on the news for the anniversary, I cry. Every time, never fails. It made me more aware of where my kids are, who are my kids with, not leaving my kids alone. I won't let my son check the mail without me going outside with him.
Her sisters, they are all grown up now, got children of their own, and a couple of family members that named the kids after Tianda and Diamond.
And our children's lives, in my family, we treasure our children's lives, and we live day to day worrying about what's going to happen to them.
When they see the news and they talk about the anniversary of Tianda and Diamond missing, they break into tears. If they hear anything about bones were found or a body was found, they get scared and they think it's Tianda. They say all the time, "I wish she would come home. I wish we knew where she was."
It's just been a never-ending story. I mean, two children, they don't just walk away. A 10-year-old don't run away with a 3-year-old.
They're just scared that it's not going to come out good, that it's not going to end well, because they've been missing for so long.
I was in my 40s when she went missing, and now I'm getting ready to hit 67, and I still don't know where my granddaughter is. I pray for her every night, and every day I pray for her.
The police devoted an enormous amount of resources to the case. Hundreds of officers worked on the case. Every lead was checked and followed up. This is still an active cold case, and Tianda and Diamond are still missing to this day. But the police have not given up hope.
The police did ground searches, air searches, water searches. They fingerprinted everybody who had been in and out the apartment.
Like my daughter, I I don't want to die without seeing her. My daughter gave me this bracelet. There's a picture of Tianda in there. This picture, she looks like my other granddaughter. And I got a picture of her and her son and her daughter. But she's just been gone for so long, and I don't see how she could be gone that long and somebody not know something. I want Tianda home. She deserves to be with her family that loves her.
Well, there were community people gathering around, supporting. Some family members don't talk about it.
It's been a lengthy investigation. We're talking a little over the 13 years. I think we have tons and tons of information that's been called in. We check those very seriously. We take a look at them, we analyze them, we see what information that those tips do bring in. And to this date, we are making headwind, but there's some information that's out there that we want to be able to reach out to the public to connect to see it can actually follow the leads in which we're expecting to get to.
Tianda and Diamond are still missing to this day, but the police have not given up hope. The cold case unit has not given up hope. We have not given up hope. We're still hoping somebody out there may know the whereabouts of Tianda and Diamond and where they might be today. Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case. On July 6, 2001, 10-year-old Tianda Bradley and 3-year-old Diamond Bradley, two sweet, fun-loving sisters, were last seen by their mother when she left for work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Today, those girls would be basically 24 and 17.
We're appealing to the public to assist in the best way they can by picking up the phone and calling your organization to help us with a tip to determine in fact what happened to these children.
It's a scary thing for other parents going through this. It's a scary thing for parents that don't have any closure. And I think that whoever has them should just let them go.
And whoever has my grandbaby, please put yourself in our position. Think about the person you love most in the world. And if that person was took away from you and you never saw her again for years and years, think how much it would hurt you. They're innocent little children that shouldn't have got caught in the middle of anything between grown-ups. There shouldn't be any reason to kidnap a child.
I think they should come clean. I think they should speak up and say what they know. And even if it's something that they've heard through someone else, just tell somebody. I honestly feel somebody does know something. Somebody knows where those girls are, or they know who took them.
It doesn't seem possible that she could be missing and somebody not know something. Somebody's got to know, whether she's passed away, God forbid, or whether she's still alive. Somebody has to know something. And I want my granddaughter home.
So we would be looking for anybody who may know or have seen two young girls, ages about 24 and 17, who are together, who are sisters, who may have now be living out of state, may have some kind of story or some kind of suspicious story to them or suspicious activity in terms of where they're living now. We're also looking for anybody with information who might know how the girls disappeared, who they hung out with, who they might have been seen with, anybody, any rumors they heard, any stories they heard, you know, any kind of information that would help us figure out who may have taken Tianda and Diamond, who may have abducted them, and where they may have gone.
We do know this case is 13 years old, roughly. And we want to urge the public to also understand there's a $30,000 reward out there. Contact the number that we've put out there. And this is a number that will come directly to our office. It'll come directly to us. We'll deal with it, and we'll pass the information and look into it. And that number you can reach us at is area code 847, and that's 579, and that's 9771. You can't leave this information that you're going to provide to the authorities and confident knowing that the information that you provide won't be released to no one but law enforcement.
If you have any information about Tianda or Diamond Bradley of any significance, please call your local police department or call the numbers you see on the show here. Any tip could be very significant. We need the community's help in trying to solve this case.
Law enforcement depends on the citizens of Chicago and in our great nation to help them solve crimes. And without the public helping us solve those crimes, law enforcement has just got their hands tied behind their back. Give us something that we can grasp hold to and bring this case to an end, because there's no need for 2 young girls of this age to be missing for as long as they have.
No one has been arrested or convicted for the kidnapping and possible murder of Tianda and Diamond. So that means that there is a kidnapper, possible murderer walking the streets of Chicago. So if you don't get involved now, let's just pray that it don't end up being yours.
Everybody thinks, okay, it'll never happen to me, but anything can happen to anybody. I want her to come home so I can see her and hold her and tell her that I love her and that I miss her, and everybody's here with open arms waiting for her.
Let them be safe. Please don't hurt my babies. I love you, Tianda. And I love you too, Diamond.
And we're not gonna ever stop looking for Tianda and Diamond. And if Tianda and Diamond are alive and they hear this message, your aunt will never give up.
The cases you just watched remain unsolved, and we need your help. If you have any information on tonight's episode or any other cases, please give our detectives a call. We need our communities to come together so we can take back our streets and make our neighborhoods a safer place.